What is your biggest takeaway from the game?
Well, there were a lot of takeaways, but I'm going to say on the evening, I was struck, and I don't want to beat a dead horse. I saw the segment before. It was like the Steph Curry love and respect tour. You know, and we've talked about it even on this show, how do players respect Steph and why they may not respect him as much as they should. But last night, I mean, from the get-go, you had Reggie Miller calling Steph the greatest shooter of all time during the three-point contest, which is huge coming from a guy that played against and with Larry Bird. And Reggie himself, you know, could try to lay claim to being the greatest shooter of all time. Then you had Kenny Smith saying he would want Steph to take the shot at the end of a game of all the players in the league, which I disagree with, but still, Kenny Smith was saying that. It's obvious on the court how much respect Damian Lillard has for Steph, especially, I think, since Steph put 62 on him. And Steph obviously goes ahead and wins the three-point shootout. And then after the game, which Steph played great, shot balls from, you know, all types of ranges, for LeBron to put up that tweet about hashtag change the game by himself alone, hashtag greatest shooter of all time, hashtag respect beyond words. I mean, that's major praise coming from a guy that you've kind of been a rival with and you know, played in the finals against so many times and beat LeBron so many times. So I thought it was great to see a lot of love and respect thrown Steph's way. And I tell you, from the distance that he and Damian Lillard were shooting, we talked about this earlier on First Things First, I think eventually, and I mean within the next few years maybe, they'll probably put some type of 4-point spots on the floor, like deep where they were shooting from. And, you know, I wonder if guys are going to keep expanding their range this way. I wouldn't doubt that way down the line, do you even see a 4-point shot in games? Which sounds ridiculous, but I'm talking about right at half court or something like that, because Damian Lillard is shooting it like it's a jumper. And Steph, I mean, he always looks like he's heaving it, so he's shooting it like his normal shot. And I think guys are just going to keep expanding on that. So that's an interesting thing to watch for.
Yeah, for me, I took away, Chris, is that what we saw last night is the greatest distance shooting that we had seen in an All-Star game. The way Steph and Dame can shoot the three, and then James Harden and Bradley Beal was equally as competent at shooting the three last night. What we saw is that we saw 58 made threes on 133 attempts and 38 dunks. So we had more three-pointers made than dunks in an All-Star game. So that just shows you the evolution. Chris, I thought Dame should have been the MVP. Now, I know Giannis was perfect 16 for 16. That's the most makes without a miss of someone that's taken at least 10 shots in an All-Star game. But Dame Lillard scored the final 11 points. He had a layup, and then he hit 3 threes. And the last 2 were not your little corner threes. They were long-range threes. And then he comes back and hit one step past half court and said, hey, you know what? I got a flight to catch. Even though he's flying private, he's like, I told my pilot I'd be back at this time, and I'm about to end this game. This thing is over. So what we saw last night, Steph and Dame put on a clinic shooting the ball from distance. Now, it's like when these guys shoot these little corner threes, I'm like, how you missed that? That's a free throw, Skip. The corner three is now a free throw.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous, the ease at which they can shoot that. So now...
Well, Steph in practice made 105 in a row.
You like, right? How do you make 105? Now, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody, Dame Lillard probably can make 30-foot threes in a row. But I love the game. I love the All-Star game. I love the distance shooting. But I want to make 2 suggestions. The first suggestion is the smallest guy's got to jump center. Because I love Chris Paul winning the tap. So the shortest guy to start the quarters, Chris, got to jump center. And so as long as we do that, and you're right. But how do we, Skip, if they keep shooting the ball from distance, you can't make the corner three any corner because the guy's feet is damn out of bounds to begin with. You can make it. So how do they push it? They can't push the line back further. So I'm with you, Chris. One step past half court, you get 4 points. And guess what? Guys going to perfect that shot, and guys going to be average. That's how somebody's going to break Wilt's record. Because somebody going to hit a couple of 4-pointers in a game.
By the way, speaking of Chris Paul, I didn't know he could dunk. He got up and dunked.
Dave, even Steph caught one.
A lot of the little guys.
And Steph hung on the rim.
Kyrie,
Yeah.
Steph.
And wait, how about Luka? I didn't know Luka could jump. Can he dunk? He got up and dunked. Luka did.
And Yoke skill, when Yoke won the tap, Yoke, that was the greatest the most excitement Jokic has had. And then he got mad because Giannis would throw it off the backboard so he could catch it. He looked at the bench like, I wanted to dunk it.
Okay. Now, back to the reality of the basketball game, which I take more seriously than maybe you take.
Yes.
And I was all for Team KD until I heard on Sunday morning that, what? Joel Embiid is in COVID contact tracing. He's out because of his barber in Philadelphia.
Right.
So is Ben Simmons.
Right.
But I told you, I thought Embiid was going to be the MVP of this game because he is edged ahead as the front runner, regular season MVP. I just think he's on a tear. And I believe he would have done to this game what Giannis did. And he also would have stopped or curtailed some of Giannis's just wide open dunks. Because I've never seen an MVP score more easily or luckily by accidentally banking in 2 of your three-pointers than Giannis did to win MVP. And I'm with Shannon. I don't know exactly what Chris thought. I thought Steph, because he set the tone for the distance shooting in the first half and gave them their lead and gave them their momentum. I thought he deserved MVP. He also had 4 rebounds and 4 assists, which Dame did not have. But the point was, how did Giannis win MVP off just because he went 16 for 16?
Yep.
And by the way, if we could just quickly see the rush through the 16 shots that Giannis made, I just want our viewers to let this sink in. This is the MVP performance. What? Hank? That was pure luck.
I heard him call glass on that, too.
Put back, just sort of lay it in, dunk. How about another? I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
That was the one shot he made all night.
Yeah.
Okay, is that enough for MVP? Well, that's a tough shot. And is anybody going to guard Giannis? Is anybody going? Any contests?
No.
Can anybody just jump with him and like give him some problem? Just bother him a little bit off the bank? Holding up the trophy. Way to go. How did that happen? After the greatest distance shooting display we've ever seen from one of those two guys, maybe they should have shared MVP,
Yeah,
right?
yes, like Shaq and Kobe did in Phoenix.
Okay, but the bottom line was, if KD had been able to play and Embiid had played, I don't think LeBron would have been able to sit out the whole second half because I think he would have felt as team captain obligated to say, I got to go.
And the game probably would have been closer, Skip, in the fourth quarter because at that point, the East needed 24 points and the other team needed like 40 points to get to 170. Well, come on.
What are you doing?
And you don't play any defense, you're not going all of a sudden everybody just going to sit down in the chair and try to guard. So
respond, Chris.
I'm like you guys. I mean, as the game was ending and they were going to announce the MVP, I was thinking Steph or Dame, right?
Yes.
And I kind of leaned more towards Steph because you said it, Skip. He kind of set the tone earlier in the game, and then obviously Damian took over late when it was basically over. But then I thought about it, and Giannis didn't have the same impact, but he was 16 for 16. I mean, I almost feel like you had to reward that. And I get it. You just showed it. I mean, it was all types of uncontested dunks and layups. But the All-Star game is generally a lot of that, especially in the last 8 to 10 years, and still no one has been perfect from the field. So I just felt like, and I'm sure the voters felt like, you just got to reward a guy that goes 16 for 16. And I think that comes out of Giannis's hustle. I said it before the game. Giannis is going to be a key to a victory because unlike most guys, he's going to be out there playing almost like it's a real game. Mm-hmm. You know, he's going to be hustling. He's going to be diving for loose balls. And those dunks, a lot of them were hustle plays just because he's playing at a speed that everybody else wasn't. And a lot of guys are just content to shoot a bunch of threes. So I think that was what they felt like. You can't not give a guy that goes 16 for 16 the MVP.
Okay, so Chris, You have known LeBron, covered him very closely for many, many years from the start of his career. Gut feeling on what happened in the second half. Did he sit out the second half as like on principle because he said this game was a slap in the face of the players who did not want to play this game? Or did he sit out the second half to save himself for the second half of the season for the Lakers?
I would lean more toward the second one. I definitely don't think he was doing it on principle or sending a message because he looked like he had fun.
Yeah.
You know, even as he wasn't playing, he looked like he was, he was enjoying it like everybody else. And clearly, he wasn't into it. You know, he missed some layups and dunks and things like that. So I don't know how much rest he needs. You know, obviously he got the game off before the All-Star break, and now he's going to get a few extra days. But I just think he felt like, there's really no need for me to be out there. I'm not on top of my game. These guys are shooting the ball from 35 feet. That's not what I do. Yep. And I think that was a lot of it. And I think he just enjoyed kind of watching the show, knowing that he's done everything you could do in the All-Star game.
And he probably, look here, man. Hey, Luka. Skip, I didn't realize Luka played damn near 32 minutes.
He didn't have much to show for it.
If LeBron was like, look here, man, this 17 in a row for me. 17 in a row, 18 years.
Now Vogel did say a couple of days back, he said he's beat up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't know he was beat up.
So we good. I think we don't play again till Friday.
Friday.
So we got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Okay.
Played a little walkthrough on Saturday.
Yeah.
13 minutes on Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Wait. So, MVP. Say it with me, Skip. MVP for GOAT James.
For Joel Embiid.
He may be on the beach somewhere now.
Yeah, he should be. He deserves a little R&R right now.
Yeah, we in San Tropez.
Thank you for joining us. We'll check in with you soon.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.